Sideshow to Circus, the evolution of perspectives on disability. Hello and welcome to Sideshow to Circus, the evolution of perspectives on disability. This is a 4-part social media series sponsored by the Edith Johnson Memorial Fund and Omnium Circus to expand understanding of the world in which we live, how we got here, and the role of popular entertainment in both reflecting and shaping common perspectives. Please enjoy this trip through time. Part 1. Historical Highlights. With limited entertainment options in an era of minimal mass media, early audiences flocked to dime museums and sideshows out of curiosity and fascination. Scientific understanding of physical and developmental differences was still embryonic, allowing lots of room for imagination and speculation. Sensational marketing and the promise of the unknown offered rare glimpses beyond everyday life. Even before the sideshow, there were traveling exhibits called dime museums, which featured human curiosities, on record as early as the mid to late 1700s. The height of the American sideshow is considered 1840 to 1940. The attachment to traveling circus amplified its reach, peaking around the 1870s. History. The 1840s saw the beginnings of the establishment of institutions specifically for people with disabilities. Though originally claiming to provide education and training, they quickly devolved. People with disabilities were considered unemployable, misunderstood anomalies to be feared due to lack of understanding. The American School for the Deaf, which opened in 1817, became an asylum by 1875. Meanwhile, in the sideshow, Barnum tantalized audiences with a forbidden peek into the world unknown to most. Behind the scenes, he was also known for generally fair and often quite high payments to his performers, especially at his American Museum, a permanent exhibit offering steady employment for many. While the sideshow and dime museum exhibits did provide some performers with a lifeline amidst challenging circumstances, it likely hindered broader acceptance and inclusion by amplifying the dominant attitudes of the time, perpetuating harmful stereotypes and social divisions. Meanwhile, in the sideshow, a portrait of sideshow performers, including giants Anna Swan, Noah Orr, and Monsieur Joseph, Little People Lizzie Reed and Edward Newell, and brothers Amos and Charlie Gorin, who had albinism. History. American slavery, believed to have begun in 1619, was not abolished until 1865. Even though enslavement was technically abolished, tenets of discourse against Black, Brown, African American, and Indigenous persons endured. This was also reflected in the sideshow. Meanwhile, in the sideshow, in 1738, a colonial newspaper announced what's considered to be the first sideshow in North America. The blurb highlights an enslaved woman from West Africa, 4 feet tall, and with features the writer compares to an ape. History. In 1907, a widespread eugenic sterilization law meant that many disabled people were blocked from having children. Many doctors believed that premature babies should be left to die. Meanwhile, in the sideshow, Martin Cooney, dubbed the Incubator Doctor, is credited with saving over 6,500 premature babies by incorporating them into his exhibits. Cooney did not charge the parents of his patients for their care. He made up the costs of caring for the infants through the entrance fees during the exhibitions. Cooney had 2 exhibits in Coney Island, one in Luna Park from 1903 to 1943, and another in Dreamland from 1904 until the fire of 1911. History. The first women's suffrage organizations were established in 1869. Women had no vote and often worked long hours for low wages. Women of color had even fewer options. Meanwhile, in the Sideshow, women performers often earned more than men. Betty Lou Williams was reported to have commanded $1,000 a week in her early 20s and was able to support her family, providing an education for her 11 siblings. History. 1920. Women get the vote, though it would take until 1965 for racial discrimination to become outlawed in the voting process. Meanwhile, in the Sideshow, 1931, Violet and Daisy Hilton, British conjoined twins in America, become legally emancipated. Stay tuned for the next fascinating episode of Sideshow to Circus, the evolution of perspectives on disability.